The Storm softball team went 2-2 last week against opponents from the Key City. We'll talk to head coach Brent Matthias about last week's games and look ahead to a big matchup with number 24 ranked Luther. We're joined now by head coach Brent Matthias. Coach, coming off a week in which your team went 2-2 splits against the Key City opponents in Dubuque and Loras. Why don't you just recap last week's games for us?
We're still trying to figure out a lot of things, but we went over to Dubuque. They have a brand new coach, and they play a different style of ball than they have in the past. They're very athletic. They run the bases hard and aggressive, and they've got some good swingers at the same time. I think we were very fortunate to get out of there with a split. And then we hosted Loras, and Ashley Winter, the head coach at Loras, always does a fabulous job at Loras. She's been there 10 years now. She's really impacted that program in a positive manner. So getting a split, as coaches, you always want to get the sweep, but looking at things in a positive light, it was good to come out of there with splits.
Looking at some of the performances last week, one of the players that stood out, Kayla Rushi, had a nice week, getting a hit in each game, hitting .364 for the week. How did she impact your team's play last week?
Yeah, she continues to move up the lineup. We're not sure where to put her. She's been batting in the 3-hole. We might actually put her in the leadoff spot sometimes this week. But she's doing a great job. If she's not getting hit by pitch, she's swinging it and putting it up the middle of the field. But just kind of that senior mentality where she's like, hey, this is my last year. I'm just going to go let it all hang out, fly, and run around the bases as fast as I can. But putting good contact on balls has really helped her. And as a two-sport athlete from tennis, I always kind of tease her a little bit. I go, that tennis swing is helping you. It's eye right to the racket, eye to the barrel. And so she's doing a good job in her senior year.
You talked about her moving around in the batting lineup a little bit. You had some different moving pieces just as far as field positions went last week. Started 15 different players in your 4 games. Is it safe to say you're still trying to find the right pieces to the puzzle and where they fit?
Absolutely, and it's not a detriment to anybody's play. It's just that no one has really jumped out and said, this is my spot. I think maybe one person that you could say has had that spot is Maddie Bennett, and I know as soon as I say this, she'll have an error, but she's on a streak of not having any errors. But we've talked about that when she has her first error, we're going to smile at each other because it's something crazy. It's past 60 attempts and no errors, and leading the conference in that category. So she's really maybe the one person there and the glue at second base. Kayla Rushi's doing a good job at first, but maybe we'll move her to shortstop. Outfield, it's kind of not a revolving door, but who's going to step up and play great defense for us and get some key hits. So that's the part that's tricky for us as a coaching staff.
You'll need both of those things when you look at your opponent that coming ahead on Tuesday after a schedule change. You move up your matchup with perennial powerhouse Luther, traveling to Decorah to face 24th ranked Luther. We're able to take a game from them last year. What's it going to take to get a similar result? Maybe take 2 from them this year.
We're going to have to play our best. We're not going to travel up there just waving the white flag. I mean, we think we've got a shot, but we've got to do some things that we know we have to do to be in a ball game. We've got to pitch well, cut down on our base on balls. We've got to get some key hits. And then, one thing we talked to the team is we've got to clean up a little bit. We've been missing some signs, and our defense has been a little shaky at times here in the past week. Those are all things we can fix, so we're excited that we kind of know what we need to do to have a chance against Luther. But, Luther's ranked 24th currently, I believe, but they finished 3rd in the country last year. Coach Hartle does a fabulous job with that program. They still return their All-American pitcher who has just been dominant in the outings she has had, and she's actually getting better, in my opinion, as the season goes on. So that's not a positive for us, but we're going to go up there trying to play our best ball, and if we play our best ball, anything can happen.
I know the season kind of gets to be a blur, and it seems like once you get into playing games, there's less and less time for practice. How do you go about trying to improve upon some of those things that you talk about, the signs and the fielding?
Yeah, that's a great question, and if you know, tell me, because we got to figure it out. But and it's a challenge because we do play so many games. Then when games get backed up because of weather, now you miss a practice day because you have to take an off day. So a lot of it is, what are you doing before the games? What are you doing in pregame? Your hitting, your defense. Are you doing partner drills? Are you communicating on what needs to happen? So a lot of that has to be, moved into a tight little window of time. But everybody's battling the same thing in Division III. academics come first, they're coming out of labs, those types of things. So as a coach, it's a challenge, but you have to understand that and try to figure out, where do we get more ground ball work? Where do we hit with the players to work on maybe fixing a hole in their swing? And so it's kind of like a magic show. You've got to figure out, how much time do we have and when can we do it? And that's a challenge, not only for us, but I think almost every Division III coach.
All right, Coach, good luck on Tuesday. We'll talk next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks.